Today we're going to be going over HubSpot Marketing Hub, and we're going to be covering some different items today. My name is Jackie Brainer. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Top Line Results. I've been here more than 15 years. I specialize in many different marketing solutions, from HubSpot to Pardot to Click Dimensions, and really work with all those different automation solutions, as well as how they integrate with different CRM databases. Today, we're going to be covering AI content creation, multi-attribution reporting, workflow automation, and then integration with CRM as well. An important note to make is HubSpot has varying levels for their marketing hub as well as their sales hub. Some of the features today, depending on what level you're on, you may or may not have access to. If you have any questions about what you have access to, please feel free to reach out to us after this webinar, and we'll be able to give you any kind of guidance on that. And the area I want to start out today is just on the template editor and the use of AI. A lot of you on the call today are probably using ChatGPT or other AI solutions. What's really neat with HubSpot is you can actually use the AI directly inside the email editor, as well as in different areas throughout the database. If you don't see the AI components turned on in your database, you may need to enable Breeze AI. That is HubSpot's AI component. One area that you can use it for is building your templates. So we can actually use it to create an image for our template. So if we wanted to create an image for, let's say, our webinar, we can actually describe that image. Please provide an image for a webinar, including people and computers. And then you can decide what dimension you want. So do you want square, landscape, or portrait? We're going to choose landscape. And then we're going to go ahead and click on generate. This will then generate different image options based on your description for that email template. So we can go ahead and select that template and choose to insert it. That's now inserted directly inside of our email template. So again, really easy to use. How you can access this directly from in here is you can choose replace, and then you can choose to create that with AI. So simple to use to create different images right inside of your template without having to leave and go to another platform like Canva or Adobe. Another option is for the content. So you can directly edit the content and create content directly within the system using AI. So wherever you see this little cute star throughout the system, you can click directly on there, and that will allow you to generate the heading or a paragraph text for that template. We're going to go ahead and select heading. From here, we can go ahead and enter in what we would like. So if we want to have a heading, we can say create a heading to invite to our HubSpot webinar. And then from here, we can just click on enter, and this creates a great heading for you. It also can apply your brand voice if you have that loaded into the system. And from here, you can either refine it or insert it. We're going to go ahead and click on insert. You can see that's entered directly inside of our template. So we can go ahead and continue on with our webinar text. So if we want to go ahead and create the paragraph text, we can say, please create an invite text for this webinar. And I already have some of the details on the side that I'm going to just go ahead and copy. So we can pull that right in there and then ask it to write us even more specific text. So really easy to use without having you to have to come in and out of different systems and try different ideas. So it can go ahead and create that text for you. And if you want to change it, you can refine it. You can also go ahead and insert it. So now we have our full paragraph text. We can then start to edit and change that. Besides being able to insert edit, you'll see throughout the ability to collaborate with Copilot. So if you want to change and see different prompts, you can also come into all the prompts. So being able to use Breeze Copilot throughout the system will be available to you. So you can start to be able to research a contact, you can look into reporting, you can add to different objects. So besides just generating content, you have a lot of different prompts available directly within the system that you can use throughout HubSpot. So very easy to use, very easy to see how to edit different things. And now you're not having to switch between ChatGPT or another AI solution into HubSpot. You can work directly within HubSpot. The next item for our webinar today is reports. So I'm going to just jump over into reports. This is just an out-of-the-box marketing channel performance dashboard. Many of you have probably seen this or are using it. The great thing about HubSpot is it allows you to do a lot of reporting off your marketing assets. So we can really see what our daily visitor count is broken down to for our website. We can do simple source tracking. So where are contacts being created from? Are they from offline sources? Are they from referrals? From direct traffic, email marketing, etc. So that's where our contacts being created. You can also see additional analytics around form submissions, landing pages, marketing emails, how many are being opened, sent, clicked, lots of different information. If you have ads associated, you can also see the ads. So HubSpot allows for a lot of the out-of-the-box reporting for your different marketing assets. So that's where we see a lot of people doing reporting. But if you have access to attribution reporting, that allows you to do another layer of reporting. So if we come over into attribution reporting, this is actually inside of the report builder. What attribution reporting allows you to do, and it allows another layer, not just how people are interacting with your assets or what contacts are being created from assets, allows you to say, where did that revenue come from? And how do I want to associate the weight of that asset with that revenue? So it allows you to do different models. What I'm showing here right now is a linear model. So for that opportunity, it's giving credit to each of those sources equally. So we can see the HubSpot webpage, a contact import, the call, sales, emails, and we can see that's how it's looking at that with those contacts. It's showing you also the revenue, and that's also showing you in the last 365 days what asset type brought in that different revenue. That's a linear model. There are several different models that you can do. The full path model gives credit to both the first interaction and the last interaction. And also the interaction that created that deal. You also have the J-shaped model that gives different credit as well to the different interactions. You can also do an inverse J-shaped, a U-shaped, a W-shaped, and a lot of our customers like to look at a time decay. So it's giving more credit to those most recent interactions. So there's a lot of different models you can do, and you can even see when you select them, how that kind of changes it. So if we were going off a first interaction, this is going to update this, and we can kind of see how that model changes. When we add linear, it's trying to give it equally. Now with first interaction, it's giving everything to that first interaction. Same thing, we can add in last interaction, and you can see how that changes the model because it's looking at where they interacted last. So it allows you to really kind of pick and choose how those assets are interacting. And then if we choose time decay, we can even see how that changes in that model. So it's really allowing you to attribute that revenue and those different interactions and weight them in different ways. A lot of our customers historically have only looked at it from first interaction versus last interaction, when really for marketing, those interactions in between are really important, and they sometimes can swing a deal and allow that to continue to be nurtured. So this allows you to kind of see what happens in between and not just the first and the last. So attribution reporting in HubSpot, they honestly do it the best out of a lot of the tools we use and allow you to be able to see that. Again, depends on what model you're on if you have access to that. Something to note too is like if you have any questions or you want to look at other prompts for reporting, you can even come in here and choose reports out of the Breeze AI Copilot as well. So if you're having any trouble with the reports, you can come in here and grab that. So that's attribution reporting and performance reporting. For workflows, many of you are, if you have HubSpot today, most likely have workflows set up. Workflows allow for automation. So historically, you have to have kind of that workflow mapped out, have the ideas of those different steps for that automation, and you continue to build out that automation. So this workflow in particular are showing how we're adding them to a specific list, and then they are coming down, we're waiting a minute, we're sending them an email, we're waiting a day, we're looking if they clicked on that link, and then choosing what emails we want to send to them next. So historically, you've had to really think this through and build out that workflow and add those actions. So you have to come in here, select those actions, start to build that out. With AI, they have added in the ability to generate the steps automatically. So you no longer have to start to build out every single little step. You can actually describe your workflow and it will build out those steps. So I just went ahead and described a workflow saying that we're going to send an email after 5 days and then schedule a follow-up task. Once you click on generate actions, this is going to take a few minutes and it will start to generate out those steps. So as that's flowing, you can see it takes just a minute, and now we have our steps actually put together. It just populated that. Whereas before, you had to add and enter in those different steps. So here we can see, we can choose that's for manual enrollment. We can see it already put in the delay for us. From here, we have to go ahead and add in the email. So you're going to have to update that. And then we're going to have to update the title of that task and add the contact owner, but it essentially creates that frame for you and that outline for you to be able to create that workflow. Whereas before, you had to really come in here and start to select those different steps and start to add them and start to edit them. This is one way to really skip a couple steps and get that outline of that workflow by just describing it and having them populate it. From there, that's where you're going to go ahead and start to change that out. So you'll have to edit those steps and make those edits then. So once we keep those actions, we can come in here and start to edit that out and choose what email we want to use. And you can go ahead and populate that and you'll be ready to go. So it really cleans up those steps for you to be able to really start to use automation without having to know every little step that you need to make. So again, that's through the AI editor, so you can go ahead and build that out. So what HubSpot uses is called Breeze AI. You should be able to access this in your system today. There's a lot of different components for Breeze AI, and it really does depend what level you're on. They do not necessarily turn on all of the Breeze components, so you may need to opt in or configure some of these components to be able to use them today. So I would suggest looking, if you have HubSpot today, looking and reviewing what you have access to. If you have questions or you want to review options, we can definitely help with that and make sure that's enabled for you. But there's a lot of different options as far as Copilot, agents, intelligence. There's a lot of different options for what it can do for you, from customer agents to social agents to content agents. A lot of different options for what we could have turned on as far as your AI settings. So if this is something that you have questions about or you need help configuring, we can definitely help get that set up for you. Lastly, what I want to touch on is we do have a tool called SymphonySync that integrates HubSpot with Dynamics CRM. So we have a lot of different customers that like to use Dynamics CRM for the CRM solution, but they like to use HubSpot for their marketing solution. So we can connect Dynamics Sales with the HubSpot Marketing Hub to allow that information to flow back to CRM for you to be able to see those different marketing metrics. So we can definitely see right away from HubSpot. This is a dynamic CRM database where we connected HubSpot back to it. And we can see within the system all of those different contacts that have been added. We can also come into here. We can see different opportunities and different opportunities created. So these are contacts that are in HubSpot that have opportunities in CRM. So you can start to see how those different metrics kind of show. Besides that, we also have the ability to bring in different marketing events. So if someone's submitting a form via HubSpot or they're interacting with an email, we can bring that data directly inside of CRM and also connect that back to that contact record. So at that contact level, you can then see what have they interacted with, what have they last seen, what have they last viewed. You can also see all of their different marketing events, what emails or forms have they interacted with most recently, and all of that is stored directly in CRM. So SymphonySync connects that tool back so you can start to see that information. So in closing, what we covered today is the ability to create those different templates using AI. We also reviewed attribution reporting and how the different attribution reports work. And then we also reviewed creating workflows with AI, as well as just general workflows. What's available with Breeze AI? Again, lots of different options that we can enable for you if you're interested. And then lastly, SymphonySync for HubSpot and CRM. Thank you for your time.